Welcome to the session. And wow, what a morning and day we're having. I'm just so excited by the energy here. I'd love to introduce everybody on the panel. First, my name is Tanya. I'm the CEO of Tandem Innovation Group, the CFO at The Linker, and also a venture finance advisor and the lead on the follow-on fund here at SheEO. So lots of roles, but mostly so excited to be here and introduce to you some fantastic activators here. I'll start with Nalini. Can you introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here with all of you today. My name is Tanya Saxena. I am joining you from New York City. I am an activator. I've been an activator since 2016. I fell in love with SheEO. It was like love at first sight, and I've been here ever since. In New York City, I run a consulting, coaching, advisory business. It's very important for me to find ways to serve entrepreneurs, executives, organizations that are very often overlooked or otherwise don't have access to finding ways for them to flourish. So that is a little bit about me. I don't know if I should explain more, Tanya. Are we good?
We're good. Throw your. Hopefully, people will be able to connect with you and learn more.
Okay.
Melina, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Melina Guglielmo, four-time SheEO activator. Really excited about that. And I lead women's wear for Canada for Giorgio Armani. And I also in a past life was a teacher as well. So teacher turned fashion person.
So excited to have you on this panel. Everybody, Melina is amazing, and we'll get into why in a bit. Jennifer, can you introduce yourself?
Perfect. Hi, everyone. First of all, happy International Women's Day. I'm Jennifer Button, and I work within RBC Wealth Management. After 17 years in the charitable sector, I had the opportunity to come over to the financial services sector and work alongside our investment advisors and our investment counselors, leading philanthropy planning with their RBC Wealth Management clients for those that are looking to include giving back in their overall wealth plan. So I'm not an activator, but I love the opportunity to help people in their activation and giving back and accelerating their dollars for good.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, all of you. I have one question to kind of kick off our conversation. I'd love to ask you your why. Why did you want to become an activator or investor? And Jennifer, maybe you can talk to why the folks that you work with want to make that move. I'm going to start with Nalini.
Sure. I think that I had always been drawn to donations, then sponsorships, and then my journey stepped into understanding something about microfinance, then patient capital. And it was sort of like tiptoeing into investing and tiptoeing into venture funding. And that just gave me so much joy once I was able to summon up the courage to lean into it, because I have seen firsthand what that gift of backing a woman can do for her. And I really wanted to get involved and put my own dollars, put my own energy towards it as well.
Thank you. Amazing what that feels like. We're going to get to what that feels like in a second. Melina, do you want to share with us?
Yeah, for myself, it really was, initially it was sort of getting my toes wet and trying to diversify what I was already doing, which is probably some more of the typical stuff, like, looking at stocks and looking at mutual funds and sort of all the things that we're taught to do as a normal investment throughout your life. And then I really, especially with the post-pandemic, I got so much more deeply involved in follow-on funding, because I really started to think about, all of our systems are so broken. How can we start doing things differently? And SheEO has just been such an incredible avenue for me and point of accessibility into that world. Also questions like, what is my legacy going to be? What am I going to leave behind? How am I making the world a better place? So it's very much based in those questions for me.
Thank you. Thanks, Melina. Jennifer, do you want to share a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, my why is from a perspective of why help someone become an investor to use their social capital dollars. And one of the reasons why I love my role is I get this incredible opportunity to debunk the words philanthropy or philanthropist and impact. They're both incredibly powerful words, but in some contexts, they seem so aspirational, almost untouchable, and can only be for a specific person that has a certain number of dollars on their finance sheet. But I love that Melina said, talking about leaving your legacy and setting up your plan. But in fact, really that's what philanthropy is actually just creating a plan, connecting with a community, asking all of those questions. And they can be both at a micro level, at a macro level. It can start at very different dollar values for everyone. And I get the opportunity to work with clients and women clients at different ages and stages of their own financial generation. They have come into money or have access to money, whether they've inherited it, whether they've acquired it, whether they've built it up as their own. So really that why to help someone be an investor is really to help them build their social capital alongside their personal and corporate capital and let them be the driver of it. Women often are fabulous drivers of social capital, but they're often a bit hesitant to sit in the driver's seat. So I love to be that co-pilot alongside them to help them out, to help them navigate what that giving back plan is. So that's really what my why and why I get up every morning.
Well, I would love to thank you for just kind of inviting us to get to know each of you a little bit more. But I would love to know a little bit more about what it felt like. What emotions come up when you activate or when you invest in a company, a woman entrepreneur. Can I start with you, Nalini?
Sure. I don't have fantastic boundaries when it comes to life and work and investing and supporting. It's just all coming from the same place. When I wrote my mission statement out for myself a long time ago, I said my mission is to explode outward the boundaries of what is perceived as achievable. And I try to do that in whatever way that I can show up in whatever space that I'm in. So what it meant for me to first, perceived as achievable, Lauren Stein, what it meant for me to get involved and to activate was that I could then feel like I was actually moving the needle. I was helping move the needle. I remember getting so excited watching a video of an avocado not going to the dark place that it often goes to. When I watched a Bigo, I remember watching that video, and there was like 3 seconds of that got me so excited. And I thought, I can help make this happen. I can help support the woman who created this. I can help support B. I can help support all of these amazing women who have these great ideas. And it just takes my commitment. And my commitment with my dollars, my commitment to the community, my commitment to show up on your own terms. And my terms have been to really roll up my sleeves and get involved. So it's been a place of excitement. I referred to courage earlier, and I think that there's something to be said about fear being excitement turned inside out. And I just needed to turn it inside out and get involved. And it's just been a lovely journey.
Amazing. Let's riff on that. I heard excitement. I heard courage. I heard fear. A very roundabout emotional experience. Melina, do you want to share a little bit about your experience?
Sure.
What kind of for you?
So at first, I've got to say I was a bit intimidated, just coming from a world of never having dealt with venture capitalism at all, very little finance background. So I was a little bit scared, to be honest. And even today, still, like when Tracy was speaking, if everybody had joined our conversation a little bit earlier, it was, just hearing her say things like LP and all of those, the language that you really kind of like, okay. And so in the beginning, I really sort of took some time to just observe. My first year in SheEO was a year of observation and just trying to figure out exactly what it was and how it worked. And then slowly, as you get into the voting rounds and you get to know some of the founders, I started reaching out and basically offering up my skill set, which wasn't capital by any means, but, just can I connect you with somebody in with, a big retailer or something like this? How can I use what I have to help? And then eventually it sort of grew from there. And I started thinking about investing some bigger capital into some of the founders and some of the founders at companies. And I remember a call that I placed over to Vicky, and I just told her, listen, I've never done this before. What advice do you have? Because I'm a little intimidated. I don't know really what to do or where to start. And she offered me some amazing advice, which was, number one, just make sure you're in great relationship with the founders, and it's really something that you believe in. It's, a product or a company that you absolutely love. And then the second thing was, don't invest any money that you can't afford to lose. So I found that advice so valuable in my experience. And Tanya, you also really helped me so many times, so many conversations with you. She's the guru of, investing. So I please reach out to Tanya. Big props there, but you really helped me because you helped me ask other questions with founders like, what is your exit strategy? You helped me really understand this money could potentially be tied up for, up to 10 years. Can you afford to go that long? Mm-hmm. So asking some of those real questions that really, really helped me in my first time investing. So it's been great.
Well, I'm so happy to have been there in part of that journey. I think it's a community activity of matching people's needs and their risks with what is needed out there in the community, and flowing them in the right places with whatever excess we have, or that in getting it to the right places. Maybe I would love for Jennifer to share a little bit about what it's like. What do you hear from the women that are investing that you get to work with?
Yeah, the first thing is money is stressful. It doesn't matter how many zeros are there. It doesn't matter where the decimal place is, what you're doing. Money is stressful. Investing is stressful. Nalini talked about sort of setting that mission statement, trying to create a plan. Melina talked about just asking those questions, not knowing what the terminology was. I get the same context in philanthropy and giving back. Giving back can also be stressful, whether it's to a registered charity, a hospital, a food bank, whether it's investing in an organization like SheEO, your local business association. It doesn't matter. It can be stressful. But I find with giving back and with investing in an organization like SheEO or a charity, it also comes from a place of passion. You really want to have that impact. You want to understand, is this the right move for me? What are the risks? How can I be aware of this? But because it comes from a place of passion and it comes from a place of emotion, I think that's where people have that sort of disconnect that, should I listen to my mind? Should I listen to my gut? Should I listen to my heart? But I actually think that when you put all of those together, that's actually where the most power comes. Set that plan. I work with a lot of clients to help them set that giving strategy. And that can be from a tax planning, charity, getting a donation tax receipt, but it also can be giving to and investing in a SheEO venture fund, investing in another woman. Include that all as part of your giving strategy. And it doesn't matter whether you're investing $1,000, $100,000, $1 million as your giving strategy. I find that having a plan allows you to use that as your guiding principles. And then you can actually open up the conversation to ask that questions. And let's be honest, we don't always have to know what the questions are to ask, but let's ask them. Let's surround ourselves with that community. Let's be vulnerable. Let's, use the resources, whether it's your investment advisor, whether it's these two amazing women that I'm on a panel with, whether it's someone like yourself, Tanya. use those resources that you have around you. And I feel so lucky that I get to be in conversations with people where they are vulnerable, where we do bring up those emotional quotients. Somebody might be crying. 50% of the time it's me, because they're really coming from that place of passion. So I think when you take the power of listening to your emotions, listening to your gut, creating a plan, but it doesn't have to be set in stone. That can come back and revisit because you learned something new, because you got more excited about something else or additionally excited about. So when you put together all of those components, and this is exactly what we do in a wealth space of, I say, use your head, heart, and wallet. How can we help you align to what are your values? What's the right timing? When's the right moment for you? What feels the most? What is going to get your family involved? But when you give yourself that willingness to lead with head, heart, and wallet, with gut, brain, and emotion, you actually can get to a place where you're actually making incredible, inspired, informed, giving decisions. And that's what I find is so powerful about setting a plan or getting involved with a community like SheEO and having that part of your overall giving plan strategy.
Amazing. With our last couple minutes, I wanted to talk a little bit about transformation. What transformed for you? I think we at SheEO, we talk a lot about when we're investing, we're going from power over to power with. What does that feel like, having that power with the companies or your investments? I'll start with Melina, because I've recently seen this transition for you, but I'd just love to know how it feels.
I mean, it feels incredible. All of that intimidation factor and the fear that I had experienced early on. Thinking about, like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, you have an incredible relationship with the founders, are incredible. The companies within the SheEO, venture portfolio are amazing. Everybody's working on the world's to-do list. All of the companies have been vetted by, hundreds, if not thousands of women. So you have all of this amazing energy and collective intuition backing you up, in addition to your amazing relationships with the founders. So for me, the transformation has been in my overall mindset and thinking of how to invest, and be it my time or money. That's where the transformation really happened. Is building out those relationships for me it's been the greatest honor of my life, to just be able to know some of these women. Who maybe before SheEO were never just given this opportunity at all, and it's sad to even think of in that way, but very grateful.
Thanks, Melina. Now, Nalini, what transformation have you felt?
So I spoke about courage earlier. One thing that I decided to do early on is I figured that if I can get vulnerable with other women in my network, and if I can raise this subject of, like, do you want to be a first-time investor? Do you want to try this out? Something that we don't talk about enough, that maybe that would break down some of the barriers and help give other people the courage. So when I was first starting out, I actually encouraged a team of women to jump in together. We were doing this back in 2016 and 2017 to pool in funds together. And we had really young girls, we had older women, we had people who had never even dreamt of investing, and we got them together. And that just got me so excited. Some of them went on to activate on their own.